Hi there, Loy Machedo, speaking to you from loymachedo.com. Who is Loy Machedo and Think Personal Branding? Given the fact that we're approaching 2019, which is a new year, I thought I would just address this question, which some of the people have been sending me emails to. And the question is, Loy, why am I not getting any job, or why am I not getting any job offers? Okay. Now, obviously I cannot categorize people. I cannot have one size fits all. But these are the three probabilities why you didn't get it. Number one is either you didn't get called at all. That is step number one. Number two is you didn't make it through the first round. That was the initial screening process. Or number three is you went all the way to the final round, and after that you didn't get selected, and this has been happening to you all the while. So I'll break it down into those three components. That is, number one is you never get called at all. You send your resume and there is no response. The second one is they call you for the first interview and after that they never call you. And the third one is you go all the way to the final interview and after that there's no news from them. So let's quickly go on through all the three cases. Okay, the first one is you're sending your resume every single place and there is no response. The answer to this is pretty simple. Number one is either your resume sucks. By that, I mean your content is not right. The information that you're putting there is not right. Or the resume itself, it doesn't stand out. You know, when you have around 4,000 resumes and your resume just gets lost among all the other resumes because it just doesn't look right or it doesn't stand out enough, or your covering letter is pretty bad. The third one is it's either your photograph or, you know, in most of the Middle East countries, candidates use their photographs. Either your photograph is plain bad or your resume really looks terrible. I've seen some really terrible resumes. The fourth one is you put too much information, which is not necessary. And like, for example, you stated what you did with the first job that was 20 years ago. You stated about your wife, your religion, what you like, what you don't like. You know, there's just too much information. Or you have stated unnecessary information like your religion, your preference, your hobbies, Word, Excel, PowerPoint. I mean, that's all stupid. Okay. So the first one is your resume sucks. That is why you're not getting a response. The second one is you're applying for the wrong jobs. If you don't fit correctly for the job that you have applied, obviously you'll not get the job call, or you'll not be called for the interview. Number three, this one is very common, is if you're spamming other people. If you start sending like 50 emails in one email, automatically, by default, you are marked as spam. Okay, or you're sending links, or your computer is infected with a virus, and when you your documents, everything is laced with the virus, and automatically when you send, you get blocked. Number four is you're either too qualified or you're underqualified. And by too qualified is maybe you're 56 years old and they're looking for someone in their 20s, so you have 30 years more experience. Or you're underqualified, you're just a college graduate and you're applying for jobs which they require experience. Or let's say you don't have a license and they want someone with their driver's license, or they're looking for a manager and you don't have managerial experience. Or number five, last if not the least, is your strategy. The method by which you're going about getting a job is totally wrong. Either you're applying in the wrong country, the wrong company, or you're just not the right candidate for the job. So this is when you send your resume and there is no response. So the first one. The second one is whereby you send your resume, you get called for the first interview or the initial screening process. After that, there's no news. Now, there can be 7 reasons for this. Number one is you seem very interesting on paper. However, in real life, you're not that interesting. And this happens predominantly with people who, I would say, Photoshop not just their image, but Photoshop their content. They make themselves look very articulate, especially people who copy paste a resume. It looks like they are so mature, they are so amazing, they have this unbelievable leadership skills. But when you meet them, they are just like, what the hell is this, you know? So it's like you're interesting on paper, but not in real life, number one. Second one, which is very probable is your communication skills are really, really bad. Because if you cannot communicate about yourself, then I don't think anyone will appoint you to communicate about their company to the world. Number 3 is you have stated something wrong. During the course of the interview, the initial session, you said something which was totally out of place. Number 4 is you have a personality that rubs people the wrong way. Either you're too aggressive or too inquisitive, or you do not know, how to dress, or you do not know how to act or behave, or you're just not likable. Point number 5 is one of your references in the resume was not correct, or something seemed out of place. Number 6 is you didn't pass the exam or the technical exam, or they give you a written exam and there's something you must have messed up over there. Or 7 is there's something in your resume that aroused their curiosity, but after they met, they had confirmed this was their fear. So it could be any of the 7 reasons. So you need to figure out what among these 7 is the reason. And last, if not the least, is you send your resume. You always get called for an interview. You go to the first, the second, the third. And the final interview is with the decision maker, the CEO or the manager of the department. And over there, you don't make it. So why is it you don't cross the final round? And these are, reasons from my experience. Number 1, which is obvious, is among all the candidates who qualified in the final, the top 3, you're not the best. So if you're not the best, obviously you'll not be selected. Now, why you're not the best is it comes down to communication skills and also your profile fit or your experience. Like they took a chance to see maybe you are good enough, but at the end they're like, no, if you had to choose between these 2 guys, this one's not, he's not there. This one is best. The second one is you didn't have a proper sales approach. A sales approach is whereby you create an interest, a desire, a need, you identify what they want, and you're able to give it to them and give it to them at a price, that is your salary, which is really attractive. So it's like the salary is so much, the expense for them, but the benefit is so very much. So when you put it to them in a sales manner approach, which is really attractive, they fall for it. But if you have not done your homework in terms of how to market and sell yourself, you can't. The third one is you lack leadership skills. Majority of the times in the final interview, it is a person that they're looking for who has to be a leader, someone who can represent the company, the brand, who can take the department or the company forward, who can represent, on a global platform. Because obviously they're looking at someone who they choose, who is, a version of themselves. Point number 4 is you either lack emotional maturity or you lack professional maturity to handle people or to handle departments or to handle the task or the pressure. Point number 5 is they felt at the end you're not worth investing, because remember, they have to invest time, effort and money into you in order to get returns. Point number 6 is they didn't feel you're the right fit for the organization, the culture, because especially in cases where you have to travel in many countries, many places, they want someone who can fit into all these cultures without, rocking the boat. And last, if not the least, this one people don't think about is you didn't want the job enough to ask for it. So if you really wanted the job and you'd asked for it and you showed the enthusiasm and the need and the drive and the desire, they would have said, why not we give him a chance? Why don't we just give him a chance? Let's see. Maybe we are wrong. So these are the reasons why you may not have been getting a response. So remember, if you send the resume and no response I gave you, it is because the resume is the written document that does the talking for you. So something's wrong with the resume. If you go for the first interview and then you never get called, it's because there's something wrong in terms of your personality that people are finding, it's kind of spooky, or he's not the guy for it. His CV is so good, but not him. And if you didn't make it to the final round, it's because you failed to position yourself as the best choice among the lot, where either your leadership skills, your maturity skills, or it's just that you just don't know how to close the sale and say, you just have to take a risk with me. You have nothing to lose. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. These are my experiences with candidates. Like the video, give it a thumbs up. Don't like it, thumbs down. And put put down your questions. I always respond to them. And if I feel it's a good idea for a video, I will create a video. So Loy from Machedo.com, who's Loy Machedo in Think Personal Branding, sharing with you his views. Let me know what you think. This is me saying goodbye for now. Take care.